What if I told you that the quietest person in any room is almost always the most powerful? That while everyone else is desperately screaming for attention, true, unshakable strength is being forged in absolute, disciplined silence. Forget the mindset of sheep who anxiously flock together, bleating for validation. What if you could adopt the potent, strategic mindset of a lone wolf, silent, observant, and utterly, dangerously untouchable? This isn't just another motivational video. This is a strategic overhaul of your entire being. Today, we're unlocking the ancient Stoic arsenal for building a kind of power the world can't help but respect. And perhaps, even fear. Let's begin. Have you ever noticed them? The ones who speak the least, yet are the very ones everyone instinctively watches. They walk into a room, and without uttering a single word, people feel their presence, their gravity, not because they begged for attention, but because they earned it, forged it in the private fires of self-discipline when no one was watching. Here is a fundamental truth. Push yourself silently, relentlessly, and you will never need to chase respect again. You will command it, because while others are addicted to being seen, to having their efforts validated, real power is built in the dark, where no one claps. When you train your mind to endure quietly, when you struggle and rise without needing a single cheer, you create an internal strength, a palpable density of character that the world simply cannot ignore. Weak men talk, strong men transform in silence and let their results make all the noise. This world, in its brutal honesty, doesn't reward noise, it rewards consequence. And the most feared consequence of all is a man who doesn't flinch when tested, doesn't fold under pressure, and doesn't brag when he wins. You don't need likes or validation. You need discipline, mystery, and a mission so powerful it outgrows the need to be understood. This is Stoic Spark, and what you're about to hear isn't feel-good motivation. It's the raw, unfiltered mindset of wolves. It's how you become truly untouchable. Principle number 1, the illusion of loud success. We live in a world where noise is tragically confused for power. People feel the need to post every workout, broadcast every minor win, as if constantly auditioning for validation. But here's the truth the strong have always known. The more you talk about your work, the less you're doing. Loud ambition often signals inner fragility, because real, authentic strength doesn't need confirmation. It knows what it is. Even in silence, Marcus Aurelius ruled the most powerful empire on earth. Yet he journaled in private, not for praise, but for rigorous self-examination. He believed in inner mastery, not external approval. While other emperors flaunted their wealth, he courageously examined his own flaws. You must understand this. Those constantly yelling about their goals almost never reach them, because their energy is wasted on managing perception, not on making progress. They chase applause instead of excellence. But you are not built for shallow claps. You're here to build something untouchable. So, push yourself silently, stop announcing, start ascending. Principle number 2, respect is never given, only extracted. Respect is not something you are politely handed. It's not something you can beg for. It is something you must extract from the world, and most importantly, from yourself, through demonstrated competence and unwavering character. The ones who passively wait to be respected are the ones who so often die invisible. Nobody truly respects potential. They respect pressure, consistency, and results that require no explanation. And here's the part they won't tell you. The world keenly watches how you treat yourself. If you let yourself slack off, if you break your own word to yourself, if you can't follow through when no one is watching, why should anyone else take you seriously? True respect begins in the silence of your own discipline. It starts when you say no to fleeting comfort, when you wake up early to train alone, when you study while everyone else scrolls. You can't command anything outside of you until you have mastered everything inside of you. So, push yourself silently, and when they finally see the man you've become, they won't question your value. They'll feel it. It's never given away freely. It's taken, commanded, by those who stop asking and start becoming. Principle number 3, the unshakable power of stoic restraint. Restraint, true self-control, is the highest and rarest form of power. Anyone can react. Anyone can explode with emotion. It's easy, common, and weak, but it takes a different breed to remain unmoved, unbothered, and utterly calm in the heart of chaos. That is stoicism in practice. And it's not weakness, it is absolute control. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Truly understand what that means. If another person can trigger you with a simple comment, they can own you. If a critic can ruin your day, you never had real discipline to begin with. The strongest individuals don't react to disrespect with loud indignation. They rise above it, knowing this world is a test, and every uncontrolled emotional reaction is a leak in their mental armor. That's why you must train your mind like a soldier. Silence the impulse to defend yourself. Don't explain, don't announce, don't perform. Restraint makes you unpredictable, and in a world full of emotionally chaotic people, the one who stays still commands the most profound respect. Let them burn themselves out trying to get a reaction from you. You stay cold, focused, moving ever forward. Principle number 4, the psychology of being unreadable. The very moment they can accurately read you, they can begin to control you. The second they know what gets to you, what excites you, what scares you, what offends you, you've already given away critical leverage. But when you are unreadable, you become unpredictable, and in the game of life and influence, unpredictable men are often respected as dangerous. In dark psychology, emotional ambiguity means keeping your internal state hidden so no one can manipulate it. This isn't about being cold, it's about being strategically invisible where it matters most. Smile calmly when you're doubted. Stay eerily calm when provoked. Never let them see the storm, even if it's raging behind your eyes, because the second you reveal your emotional playbook, you give them an easy way in. Let your silence speak, let your results sting, let your moves confuse. When people don't know what you're really thinking, they project fear, respect, and mystery onto you. That is how kings operate. That is how you stay in power. So, push yourself silently. Train your face to be an unreadable mask of composure. Train your emotions to be unshakable. And train your habits to speak far louder than your mouth ever could. That is when you truly become untouchable. Principle number 5, silence is a strategic weapon. Silence isn't just the absence of sound, it's a powerful signal. It declares, I don't need to prove anything. I've already decided who I am, while others frantically chase attention. Your deliberate silence becomes your sharpest sword. It disarms the loud, exposes the insecure, and leaves manipulators with nothing to grab onto. The great strategist Machiavelli understood this. He who does not reveal himself gains advantage. Because silence creates a vacuum, and in that space, people rush to fill the void with their own fear, curiosity, and respect. Why are some people instantly taken seriously? Because they don't beg for relevance. They withhold. They give no energy to nonsense. They don't argue in comment sections or explain their ambitions. They just move. Calculated, precise, focused. Your silence becomes a psychological mirror, reflecting their insecurities while hiding your next move. The more they guess, the more power you hold. So, don't broadcast your plans. Don't reveal the battle you're fighting in the dark. Just win it. Then, stand tall, not to boast, but to silently command what is already yours. Principle number 6, the immense power of being underestimated. Yes, let them think you're average. Let them believe you're harmless. Let them confuse your silence with weakness. Because in a world addicted to showing off, the one who shows nothing becomes the biggest, most underestimated threat. You have no need to correct their flawed assumptions. Let them write your premature obituary in their minds, while you are silently writing your own legend. When people underestimate you, they let their guard down completely, and that is the greatest strategic advantage you can possibly have. The Roman general Fabius Maximus understood this better than anyone. He earned the nickname the Delayer because he refused to fight Hannibal head-on. People mocked his caution, but his patience outlasted every enemy. History remembers him as the one who tamed the untamable. So, why are you in such a rush to prove yourself? Let them doubt you, let them gossip, because while they're busy watching someone else, you're quietly building in the dark. You're sharpening your weapon, you're becoming something they will never be ready for. Real respect isn't earned by demanding attention. It's earned by outlasting the noise, by showing up every single day when no one's watching, when no one believes, and when no one claps. Every ignored win, every quiet sacrifice, that's the real flex. That's the invisible grind that will one day make you untouchable. Here's a powerful paradox: if you try to be seen too soon, they'll bury you in doubt. But if you let them underestimate you long enough, you will bury them in undeniable proof. Let them laugh when you say nothing, because every second they waste doubting you is a precious second you spend building the version of you that doesn't need to say a damn word. And when that version arrives, the room will fall silent. They'll likely feel exposed, because while they were watching each other, you were watching and mastering yourself. Being underestimated lulls your opponents into complacency. They think they've figured you out. Perfect. Now is when you can strike, not with fists, but with an overwhelming presence. Not with loud noise, but with quiet, unignorable proof of your competence. That's when their egos crack. That's when their eyes widen. And that's when the respects they never gave you shows up, uninvited, not because you asked for it, but because you became someone they simply cannot ignore. They'll wonder, how did he do it? But you weren't hiding, you were building. You were too focused on becoming powerful to waste a single moment looking powerful. That's the Stoic way. That's how legends walk. They don't need loud entrances. They simply arrive, and the air changes. Being underestimated allows you to grow without pressure, to fail in peace, to evolve without prying eyes. When no one expects anything from you, you are completely free to become everything you are capable of being. You don't rise by convincing people, you rise by becoming undeniable. The path to that version of you is paved in silence, in rejection, in doubt, and in relentless discipline. Principle number 7. Command respect through self-governance. Here's the crucial mistake the world makes. They think respect comes from domination, from controlling others. That's not real power, that's fragile ego. True, unshakable respect is rooted, first and foremost, in self-governance. If you can't rule your own impulses, your own emotions, your own commitments, no one of value will ever truly follow you. If you consistently fold under stress, if you explode with rage when triggered, if you betray your own word to yourself, why should anyone else take you seriously? Start there. Train your mind to be disciplined when no one is watching. Control your emotions when it's hardest to stay calm. Execute your plans when quitting feels easier. Because when you do that consistently, you develop true authority, not over others, but over the only person you were ever meant to command, yourself. And when people see that kind of profound self-mastery, they respect it instinctively. You want to command respect. Don't fake alpha energy, build it. Wake up when you said you would. Finish what you started. Let your words be rare but sharp. Let your silence carry immense weight. There's a reason kings of old didn't often yell. Their stillness carried judgment. Their calm triggered a sense of order. And if you want the kind of powerful presence, you must stop asking, stop hoping, stop waiting. You must become it. Principle number 8. Create a legacy of quiet strength. Loud men leave noise, quiet men leave a legacy. Think about that. Our world celebrates those who speak the most, but history remembers those who moved in deliberate silence and, through their actions, reshaped reality. Noise fades, but quiet, demonstrated strength can echo for generations. Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus didn't perform or chase fame, they just were. And the world, in its own time, adjusted around them. That is the kind of legacy you are building if you walk this path. Not a legacy of shallow followers, but one of deep impact. Not one of fleeting likes, but one of lasting power. When you push yourself silently, you're developing something far more important than goals. A reputation built on the bedrock of reality. And a reputation built on reality cannot be bought, faked, or destroyed, because it's been forged in the solitary fire of your own discipline, strengthened through unapplauded trials, and sharpened in the profound absence of external praise. Quiet strength doesn't need to seek validation, it simply becomes a force. The man who trains when no one is watching, who works when there's no deadline, who disciplines himself when excuses whisper in his ear, that man becomes legendary in his own right. Not because he shouted louder, but because when the world finally saw him, it realized he was already built. Let others exhaust themselves in the race to be seen. You focus on becoming someone who simply cannot be ignored. Because the most respected men in history weren't loud, they were immovable. Their presence said everything, their actions said more, and their silence, that was their armor. When you choose the silent path, you are choosing the hard path, but it is the one that leads to true greatness. Because silence filters out the weak, only the truly disciplined survive without applause. And when you finally arrive, fully formed, fully grounded, they'll ask how you did it, and you might simply nod. Because a true legacy doesn't need explanations. It comes with undeniable presence. So keep pushing, keep building, keep choosing the lonely path, the quiet grind, the uncelebrated work, because one day your silence will become the new standard, your life the blueprint, and your story the reason someone else chooses strength over noise. Remember, quiet strength doesn't ask to be remembered. It simply becomes unforgettable. You've heard the noise, you've seen the performance, you've watched the world reward the loud, the fake, the desperate. But now, you know better. The real ones, the ones with true power, move differently. They push themselves silently. They let their unwavering discipline do all the talking. And they command respect, not by chasing it, but by relentlessly becoming someone who makes it impossible to withhold. That's the demanding, yet incredibly rewarding, path you're on now. You're not here to be merely liked or seen. You are here to build real, internal power, power that doesn't flinch or fold, power that speaks volumes through pure presence. When you walk into a room, they should feel that you've suffered, sacrificed, and endured more than they can possibly imagine, and never once asked for sympathy. That is what true stoic strength is. That is what psychological dominance, in its most virtuous form, looks like. And that is what turns a man from mere noise into an enduring symbol. So remember this as you move forward. Let them doubt you. Let them ignore you. Let them speak while you work. Because in time, the silence you suffered in will become the very silence they fall quiet in when you are present. Not out of fear, but out of profound, undeniable respect. You don't need a stage. You need standards. You don't need applause. You need absolute alignment with your own principles. So keep pushing, keep training, keep walking that lonely, noble path, because when your time comes, when your cultivated silence finally roars with the weight of your achievements and character, you won't need to say a single word. If you're walking this path with me, If this message hit you where it needed to, I invite you to make a final declaration in the comments. Let it be your commitment to this new way of being. Type, I build in silence. I last forever. Now, if this message truly resonated with you, if something inside of you just clicked into place, then do this for yourself and for others like you, like this video, so we can spread this powerful mindset to those who desperately need to hear it. Subscribe to Stoic Spark if you're genuinely ready to lead your life with quiet, unshakable power, and be sure to turn on the notifications, because we're just getting started. Every single week, we sharpen minds, we strengthen hearts, and we build men and women who don't need to scream to be deeply, profoundly respected. You've wasted enough of your precious time seeking external validation. Now, it's time to earn a reputation. And you do that by pushing yourself silently, relentlessly, until the world simply can't help but listen. Stay sharp, stay silent, stay dangerous.